Okay, let's try this again. Let's go. Hey, hey, for Mac. I don't know why it won't stop streaming. Hold on, y'all. For some reason, it won't go off on this. Hold on, y'all. Now this is gonna be part two. I don't know. I'm gonna fix that in a minute. Y'all hold on. This is gonna be part two. I'm gonna have to watch. You're gonna have to watch the hold on. That ain't it. You're gonna have to watch the is that gonna work? No. Hold on, y'all. You're gonna have to watch the replay for the first part. Please don't fall. You're gonna have to watch the replay for the first part because I'm not about to go through all that. Because we was 30 minutes in before my husband called and he kicked me off. Okay. Hey Tina Tina. Hey Tina Tina. Okay. Now let me go back to where I was. Okay, so contrary to what many people believe, Santeria is neither a sect or a cult. It is a religion. You know, a lot of people, when they don't understand something, the first thing they think is it's a cult, it's a bunch of um, crazy people, because there are certain things that you have to do in order to really practice the religion. There are certain clothes that you wear, there are certain, certain colors that you wear, certain um jewelry that you wear, certain there is a certain way that you present yourself, a certain way that you talk to, other people. And if you don't understand what's going on, you could think that it was a cult. I mean, if the first time that I went to a Bimbe and I got there and saw all of these people in all white, like I had never seen anything like that before. Like I had never seen people in, all white. Like church is colorful. The Christian church, the Baptist church is colorful. People, hats and, dresses and different colors and suits and all of that kind of stuff. You're not going to see that when you go to a bimbe. You are going to see people in all white from head to toe. And when I say all white, I mean all shoes, purse, everything. And so if you don't understand that, then you will think that um it's something different, or it could be something strange for you because you have no idea what that is and you've never seen it before, but it is a recognized um religion. So I'm not going to, go into what the um, cowrie shells are known for and all of that kind of stuff because the majority of people that are watching are not going to even get into that. So we are going to just go into the first Orisha, which is Elegua. So, Alegua's Catholic saint is Saint Anthony of Padua, the Holy Infant of Atocha, and the Lonely Spirit. Those are the Catholic saints that are um, synchronized with Elegua. And if you purchase candles, like if you go into the Mexican stores, or sometimes they have the candles at the dollar store. If you go into the stores and purchase candles, it will normally be like a legua on one side and the Holy Infant of Atocha on the other side of the candle, showing the Catholic saint that um, is synchronized with Elegua. Elegua and all the other Orishas have many paths or aspects which are known in Santeria as avatars. As we will see in this section, Elegua has 101 paths, of which 21 are most commonly used. In each path, the Orisha is synchronized with a different Catholic saint. Thus, there are at least 21 saints with which Elegua has been identified. And so it, goes into the saints, and I'm not going to um, read all of those. So it does say Saint Anthony of Padua. The feast day is June 13th. So June 13th would be the day that a lot of people would feed their Elegua and have a feast um, dedicated to him. It says, this beloved saint is one of the great doctors of the Catholic Church. He was born in Lisbon to a wealthy family. I'm not going to do all of the part that talks about the saint because I don't really get into the um, saint portion of honoring the Orisha, but if you do, that would be a interesting read for you. But I'm not really into that because so this goes into the feast days for some of the saints, like uh, the Holy Infant of Atocha. Their feast date is January the 1st, and the Lonely Spirit, their feast date is November the 2nd. So it looks like they all have different days that they are honored, that the Catholic saints are honored. So it says, Elegua as a cosmic force. He is the opener of doors, the messenger of the gods. He is a great diviner who does not need a oracle to see the future. He owns the keys to all doors and to evil as well as good. So good as well as bad. Elegua can do it all. He seems to take pleasure in creating compromising situations and trouble between human beings. He can be equally cruel and generous. He is the unexpected, treacherous, dangerous, and capricious like fate itself. He is the great justice wielder. And though he may seem at times a master of deceit and the bringer of misfortune, his actions are always justified because he alone knows the true meaning of justice and sees things which are hidden from humanity as well as from other Orishas. And a lot of people say that Alegua has a childlike spirit. He is extremely playful, and he does love children. That's why when you have a altar for Alegua, you always give him toys because he is known as a trickster with a somewhat childlike on one side um personality. It is said that this Orisha that he is the lowest and the highest, a prince and a pauper who is equally at ease in a palace and a garbage dump where he often feasts. With Oya, he rules over the four winds. He is a great healer and a master magician. His spells and amulets are all powerful and impossible to destroy. Don't play with him. When ceremonies start, they start with Elegua. When they end with Elegua. He opens the door, and then in the end of all ceremonies, he is there to close the door. And you will not end the ceremony without him. He is always honored at the end of ceremonies for him to, close that spiritual door. Like you don't want to just leave that open after things have been done. And it is Alegua who um, takes care of that. So in Santeria, Alegua is envisioned as a young, light skinned mulatto of a pleasant countenance, slim and agile. So he is, um, you know, nice to look at. He is dressed in breeches and a cassock in red and black. He wears a straw hat and a large knapsack by his side, filled with candies of in all sorts of tricks. He carries a whistle around his neck and many bells and other noisemakers. On one hand, he carries a forked branch he uses to ensnare the unwary. The branch is painted in red and black. He is most commonly represented as a cement head with the eyes and mouth formed with cowrie shells. But in some of his aspects or paths, he may be prepared inside a large seashell, a porous sea stone, or a coconut. So the Allegro that I had was done in a coconut, but he can be done in a cement head with cowrie shell um, eyes and mouth. Now, these things are sold on the internet. I've seen them on Etsy. If you Google them, I have seen them for sale. And when you purchase things off the internet, you have no idea what you're getting. That's why I tell people all the time, these type of things are not to be purchased off the internet. These things are supposed to be prepared by your godmother or godfather or your oba or somebody, not just some random person that you have no idea, because people like to make items and dress them up. I'm pretty sure I can find, let me see if I can find some on Pinterest because they love to dress up stuff. Here's one right here. You have no idea what is inside there. You don't know what it is. And here's one right here. You don't know who the person is that made that. I tell people all the time, do not purchase stuff off of Etsy or anywhere offline. I mean, it's okay to get statues and, stuff like this because these are things that you can purchase like in botanicals and stuff. Like if you want to have a statue, but to purchase an Elegua head or something that someone is telling you is an Elegua, I would never ever do that. I would never ever recommend that you do that because you have no idea what it is. The person probably don't know what it is. They just out here trying to make money. Look at this. These people are selling it under Wicca. This has nothing to do with Wicca. And then someone will purchase it in their mind, they'll be thinking, "Oh, I have an Elegua." No, you don't. You have something that some random person sold you. So you have to be careful. If you don't have a godparent and they have not told you, for one, they haven't told you that you need an Elegua. What do you? Elegua may not have even chosen you. Elegua don't even know you. And here you go putting a whole Elegua in your house that 9 times out of 10 don't have no meaning or anything. You just got it. You just saw it online and you was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna be a child of Elegua." That's not how it works. So just be careful what you purchase, you know, online. What you um bring in your house, what you just purchase from random people that you don't even know. Why would you want to get something spiritual from someone that you don't even know? You don't know these people. You don't know the seller. You don't know what they're doing. 9 times out of 10, the seller don't know what they're doing. They just know that they can make some money off of it. So that's what they're doing. So it says, of course, Allegua's colors are red and black. His day of the week is Monday. His numbers are 3 and 21. His offering are toys, keys, a straw hat, mousetrap, guns and rifles, coconuts, candies, toasted corn, whistles, forked branches, rum, cigars, and candles. In which the majority you would never have to use this kind of stuff because you're not a child of Elegua. This is Santeria. We're talking about Santeria. I know some of you came in on the second part. This is Powers of the Orisha, Santeria, and the Worship of the Saints. Okay. And hoodoo is not a religion. Hoodoo is more of a practice. Hoodoo is not an established religion because people in Louisiana do hoodoo one way. I heard there is even a big hoodoo practice in North Carolina. That's not that's not an established religion. It's more of a practice. It's something that kind of like people take a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. Now, voodoo is a religion. But hoodoo is not. Hoodoo is more, more of a practice that people um pick up, because you don't have to be initiated into hoodoo in order to practice. But Santeria, there is an initiation. Voodoo, there is an initiation. Into the Yoruba tradition, there is an initiation into this religion. But hoodoo is something that you don't have to be initiated to practice. So his necklace is alternating red and black beads, and I don't have on. The only thing I have on today is my Oshun. I don't have on my Allegua. Foods that they normally give to Allegua during ceremony, or when you already have Allegua as an Orisha, so you know for sure that Allegua is your head Orisha, or you have your Orishas, you're a priest. You can give toasted corn, smoked fish and possum, palm oil, fruits, all type of candies and cakes, male chickens, roosters, coconut, cornmeal balls with honey and palm oil. Because most of y'all ain't gonna be out here getting no chickens, plucking no chickens, giving them to the Orisha because you don't know how. So this don't apply to um, most people. And I'm not going to go into the herbs and stuff because they have that in Spanish. So it says, as a human archetype, Alegua is identified as someone with mischievous tendencies, good humored, and kind, a prankster, fond of playing jokes. He is said to be the master of lies and arbiter of truth, the father of traps and snares. His children are intelligent but sometimes unscrupulous, and gives in to intrigues. So the next portion of this goes into the different paths of a legua, and that can be kind of confusing to people that don't really understand that there's not just one particular orisha. Like Oshun is not just one particular Oshun. There are many different paths of Oshun. And normally when you receive your alekes, you will have a alternating color of bead, which indicates what path of Oshun you are. And I had that in mind broke. So the path of Oshun that I have is Oshun as a vulture, or a very cunning witch. So that is um, the Oshun that I fall under. So if you get the book, then you will be able to see the different um, paths of Oshun that they have that are listed here. So we're going to talk about Elegua and the warriors. Receiving your Elegua and the warriors, this initiation is one of the foundations of Santeria, and together with the necklaces, which are the Alekes, is half of the major initiation known as Essentio, when a person becomes a Santero or Santero. Santero or Santera, male or female. So usually, and I'm gonna say usually because this is not every single solitary person, but usually you will receive your alekes first. That's the first part of your initiation. And then normally After you receive your Alekes, then you receive your warriors, which is Alegwa in the rest of the group in the warriors. So you will either receive one of those that I showed, the stone head with the cowrie shell eyes and mouth, or a coconut with cowrie shell eyes and mouth, or a coconut that is painted and designed by your godparents, whichever one they choose to give you, and then you will receive the pot um, for the warriors that have the tools that you will need for that. But that is done first step, Aleke, second step, warriors, and then third step is your normally. Now, it could be some other things in between there depending on what you need, but normally the next step is when you are crowned and you receive your head um Orisha. Is that too much information? Cause I don't like to give y'all too much, and then you be like, "Huh? What you say? What? Did I'ma get the Arisha?" Yeah, I wouldn't purchase anything either if I didn't, one, know where it was coming from, and two, know what it is. Three, know who the person is that's making it. Because the mysteries are on the inside, supposedly on the inside. Hey, sweetie,
Hey there.
you gonna be here for a while? I'm gonna get off in a
No,
minute.
go ahead. Go ahead. Ooh. Hush, hush up, man. Hush up, hush up,
Boy,
man.
gone.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah, I'll be here. I may stay.
Boy, go eat your food.
Hush up.
The mysteries are supposed to be on the inside of that cement head, or coconut or whatever. And I have seen a few priests buy these things off the internet and bust them open, and it don't be nothing in them but cotton, or they empty. They don't have anything. And
They mark one with beans. I don't think they took beans off.
oh, they didn't. I ain't gonna worry about it. I just eat around it. So that's why you have to be careful, because you're not receiving what you're actually paying for. You're actually paying for a real Allegua, but you're not getting that. You're just getting empty shell. And 9 times out of 10, that's all you're getting anyway, because the people that's selling it to you, they're not priests. They're just random people trying to make money off of that name. And it is a lot of people that do that, unfortunately. Like I showed you guys on Etsy, you can Google Elegua heads, and they'll pop up they'll show them to you in your Google search where people are selling them. So you really have to be careful. Um, you have to be careful what you're purchasing. I'm trying to see if I reading in your comments to see if y'all had any questions. Everyone has ancestors. What do you mean you don't have no ancestors? Ain't nobody in your family died? everybody in your whole family is alive, you have to have ancestors. See, this is the problem that I have. This the problem that I have with people. They don't understand, but yet they want to. No, I'm not in you in particular. I'm just saying I see this so often. Now, this person just said they don't have no ancestors. We all have ancestors, sweetheart. Your ancestors are just different than mine. My ancestors are my family. My deceased family. Your ancestors are your deceased family members. Now we don't have the same ancestors because we not the same, but we all have ancestors. Somebody did. Okay, KK, thank you. Somebody in your family did. 'Cause if Gizmo, I'm gonna whoop you. Stop. If you don't have no ancestors, then something is going something is going on in your family because everybody, somebody that died in your family, and if they haven't, I want to find out who your people are and find out why they not dying and find out what the secret is. If your father is dead, then he is an ancestor. Everybody dead. And if there ain't nobody in your family dead, girl, I want to figure out why. So your father is your ancestor. He's gone. He's not here. I'm pretty sure they do in their own way. I'm pretty sure people that do stuff like that do get punished. And we may never see it. One thing we have to get out of the habit of wanting to see justice for everybody because when things happen, we want to see people be punished. It's not for us to see. The punishment ain't for us to see. That judgment is not even for us to make. So of course it ain't for us to see. If someone does something, then you well, you don't hope. You know that God is the one that is going to punish. And it ain't our business. Just like when your siblings got in trouble, your parents didn't normally whoop them in front of you, or whatever their punishment was between the parent and your sibling, unless your parent was really trying to prove a point and tow that ass up to show you that you can be next. But most times when your siblings got in trouble, they got in trouble in your parent room. They got whooped. Now you may have heard them crying, but you're not going to see the whole wrath. Or when your sibling got in trouble and your parents sat them down and talked to them, that whole conversation was not for you. It was for them. And that's how, God punishes people. We may never see the punishment. It's a lot of people that do dirt and, get over on people, steal money, and, out here living lavish lives. But eventually it's going to catch up to them. And eventually, yeah, they will be punished. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. If you had any level of intelligence or really understood, I wouldn't play with the Orishas. But that's people that, they don't care. They really don't even understand the power of the Orishas. They don't understand and they don't care. They just out here trying to make money. Yeah, but I've stopped, you know, I've stopped asking my ancestors for a lot of trivial stuff. Just like every time somebody make me mad, I'm not gonna run to my ancestors and tell them. Just like everything that happened to you when you was at school, you didn't come home and tell your parents everything. You just came and told them things that you knew you couldn't handle by yourself. If it's somebody that's just getting on your nerves or whatever, it don't make no sense to run to your ancestors because they gonna ignore that kind of stuff anyway. It's some stuff that they just be like, you know what, work that out yourself. I don't have time for that. And you shouldn't be running to your ancestors for everything. Like, I'm in groups where people be asking stupid stuff like, "Oh, should I, get my ancestors? Can I? What can I give to my ancestors to force my boyfriend to act right? Nothing. Get rid of him. You can't force somebody to. Your ancestors don't have time for that." Because for one, they gonna look at you and be like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm not about to force him to act right. Get rid of him. He don't love you, girl. That's that. I'm not gonna be wasting my time trying to force some man to love you that don't love you. They don't have time for that. And I think you need to understand that that's not what they're there for. They're there to help you with things that are important. Little childish things like Pookie not buying you something for Valentine's Day. They don't care nothing about that. And when you have godparents, they will explain that kind of stuff to you. Like, don't be asking your ancestors for the lottery numbers and dumb stuff because that's the kind of stuff that they ignore. They're not going to give you the numbers to the lottery because if they were, we would all be rich. They are there to help you with things that you really can't do yourself. Girl, I wasn't on no hiatus. They had to dog me, girl. They had to silence the girl. Made her I was on a I was on a 3 month lockdown. They had me in YouTube jail for 3 months. So I'm back. You back too? You back from a long hiatus? Girl, I was gone too for 3 months. So I think that's all we're gonna do tomorrow. There is some other stuff. So there is some story. Well, there is a story. Um, yeah, there is a story and there is a cleansing. But let me read through this before I get this to y'all because some of this stuff y'all don't need to be doing. So it looks like it's a money spell, a love spell. Oh, well, let's do this love spell because it's real small. Okay, net. Can you find on me? Okay, so the love spell says the name of the person is written on a piece of brown paper and placed between three sticks of the following wood: Palo. I know what Palo is. I can't even pronounce these. Harami and Vinceder, some type of cedar. So Palo something is some type of cedar. The names of the name and the sticks are then wrapped tightly with red and black thread. It is important that the name and the sticks are completely covered by the thread. Thus secured, they are then placed inside a glass with rum, honey, and cinnamon. The glass is placed on the floor in front of Alegua, who is then asked to intercede and unite the two lovers. So this is not to be done by a regular person because the average person does not own an Alegua. So this is one thing that's good about the book. It kind of, makes you stay in your lane. Because once it said it is placed on the floor in front of a Legua, that's going to kick a whole lot of people out because your average person does not own an Legua. You don't have one. So, yeah. Everybody don't have one. And everybody is not supposed to have one. If you have not had a reading and Alegua came forward and said that, you are his child or, he wants you or whatever, then there is no reason for you to own an Alegua. What do you got one for? You haven't had a reading, you ain't talked to Alegua, you don't know Alegua don't know you, so why would you own one? So, what's that? So that's it for today. We're going to come back tomorrow, and tomorrow I will read the story of the Legua, or what I may do is just do the video and read the story and just upload that, and then tomorrow in the live, if you guys have any questions, you can ask the questions there or put the questions in the comment section, and we'll go through that so we can go on to the next Orisha, and the next Orisha is Ogun. Okay? Okay, we'll get there. We're going to get there. Okay, so if I didn't answer your questions here, when the video uploads, put your question in the comments, and I answer all the comments unless it's something crazy. Then nah, I won't. But put it in the comment section, and I will answer it there. If I can, I'll go back and look at the comments. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So we'll finish this up tomorrow and we'll move on to Ogun. Okay, I appreciate you guys. I love you. Don't forget to watch the Big Lots video and the other videos that are up. Make sure you have your notifications on and all that kind of stuff. Post notifications and all that. Click all the bells so that you don't miss anything because YouTube is tripping. And I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.